Welcome to the VROne.co.uk YouTube channel. This is the third in a series of videos dedicated to the HP Reverb G2. As promised and mentioned in our other video setting up the Reverb G2, here I touch base on some of the common problems and errors you may encounter when trying to set up your headset and how to fix them. Right, firstly, before I forget, please ensure you update to the latest version of Windows. A simple update may fix some of the issues you're already experiencing. For those of you wanting to skip to a particular section of this video, you can find the links to all the timestamps in the description below. Okay, let's not beat around the bush and take a look at those errors and some general troubleshooting. One of the most common problems with the G2 is when the Windows Mixed Reality portal can't detect the headset. This occurs when the display adapter is not connected to the graphics card, or more often when it's improperly connected to the headset, usually because it hasn't been fully inserted. The cavity that assists in the alignment of the connector is poorly designed, making it awkward to insert. The other flaw is the cable clip. It's way too brittle and very easy to break. The alternative, and a far better solution in my opinion, is to use a simple Velcro strap. This allows the wire more freedom to move, unlike this cable on the Oculus Rift S. And although it does a very good job at holding the cable tightly in place, the cable will kink at a particular point and over time can damage the internal wires. Okay, moving on. If you are having issues pushing it all the way in and the adapter stops at a particular point and won't appear to go any further, hold the end part of the connector with your thumb and forefinger, flexing it up and down while pushing it in, ensuring not to use excessive force. Just keep trying and it'll eventually go in. That's done it. The adapter's fully seated now. As you can see, the guide hole now aligns with the top edge of the headset. This is quite a common error, certainly with the X570 chipset motherboards. More on that in a minute. If you are using a USB-C port, Windows may not recognise it. In fact, I couldn't get this port to work at all. If you're having the same issue, try using the adapter instead. You may also have issues if you happen to be using one of the USB ports on the front of your computer. So try using a USB 3 or 3.1 port on the rear of your PC. If you are still unsuccessful, try multiple ports until you find one that works. If you still have issues, and as I recently mentioned, check and update Windows. After that, check that your PC is using the latest USB drivers. To do this, navigate to the Device Manager. Expand the drop-down for Universal Serial Bus Controllers. Right-click on the Intel Extensible Host Controller for Microsoft and click on Update Driver, selecting the automatic search function. If the driver does get updated, be sure to reboot your PC. May I also point out, if you happen to see a failure for unknown USB device, do the same. You can try disabling the USB device and re-enabling it. Failing that, you can try to scan for hardware changes, then reboot your PC. As you can see here, this fixed the issue for me. Finally, if all else fails and you're still having USB issues, you may want to install a USB adapter hub, or better still, a USB PCI Express expansion card. This particular one is ideal, mainly because it's fully compliant with the extensible host controller interface. I shouldn't have to worry about speed either, as this card is fully capable of handling speeds of up to 5 GB per second. It has 4 USB ports that can support 3.0, 2.0 as well as 1.1 devices. Best of all, there's no messing around connecting power cables. In essence, the card is a 4-phase power module, with each individual port, or interface, owning 2 amps of power. So effectively, the 4 interfaces work independently of each other, totaling 8 amps. The card itself simply gets the power it needs from the PCI Express slot. Now, this motherboard only has PCIe 16 slots, otherwise I'd be using a PCIe 1, 4 or 8 slot. Should you be interested, I've provided links to the expansion card as well as the adapter in the description below. Make sure you have the most recent drivers installed for your headset, as well as your USB controllers. If you're still having issues, try plugging the cable into a different USB 3 port on your computer. Just to point out, HP recommends using only the USB controllers built into the motherboard, as opposed to the ports on the front of the case. If trying different ports still doesn't fix the problem, you may want to try installing a PCI adapter card or express card. Please also refer to what I previously mentioned for error 7-12, ensuring your extensible host controller is up to date. Sometimes during the resume process, the graphics card cannot establish a connection, so unplugging the USB Type-C adapter from your PC and plugging it back in may help re-establish the connection. Alternatively, just use the supplied adapter and plug it into a USB 3 port instead. To be honest, this seems to be a more reliable way anyway. If you happen to own a motherboard with the X570 or any other PCIe 4 chipset, there appears to be a known issue regarding the incompatibility with PCIe 4. So you could try updating your BIOS or your motherboard drivers, providing the manufacturer has a fix for it. Having said that, a user on Reddit posted a workaround to the problem by going into the advanced BIOS settings, selecting onboard devices configuration and changing the following to Gen 3. Apparently this did the trick, although it does sound like a lot of hassle in my opinion. Anyway, for those who are interested, I've added a link to the article in the description below. To be honest, I can't see any reason why a decent PCIe 3 expansion card or a USB adapter hub wouldn't fix the issue anyway. I've provided a link to the card and hub, which can be found in the description below. If your headset was previously running at 90 Hz without issues, and you received an error saying your headset is now running at 60 Hz, this can sometimes occur if there's a glitch with your graphics card, or if your GPU isn't really powerful enough to run at 90 Hz anyway. For those of you running an RTX 3070, 3080 or 3090 for that matter, you shouldn't have any issues whatsoever. If you do, a simple reboot should fix this. Just make sure that when you go back to the mixed reality portal, that the refresh rate is back at 90 Hz. Having said that, for those with weaker GPUs, 60 Hz may be the only stable option anyway. Also, before you play VR, make sure you close anything running in the background that's not required. You can check this by pressing Ctrl Shift and Escape to open the Windows Task Manager. There's a fair amount of useful information here. You can see your current processes, so the applications and programs that you're currently running. There's a Performance tab which shows you the current performance of your PC. such as your CPU, memory, storage disks and your GPU. Probably the most important tab is the Details tab. Right click the header, choose Select Columns and then check Dedicated GPU Memory. You can click to toggle this column to show you what programs or processes are using your GPU memory. It's then a case of simply right-clicking on the programs not required and clicking End Task. This should help and make your VR experience more stable. For those with lower end cards, I suggest you update your graphics card drivers. Having said that, you may be better off waiting until Nvidia release new drivers. I'll talk more about that later on. Anyway, getting back to the issue at hand, if you do receive the 60 Hz error message, the quickest way to solve this is to simply disconnect the power cable to the splitter and restart Windows. Once your system has fully reloaded, check if there's any unnecessary tasks running in the background and end them, like previously shown. Then power the headset back up and you should be good to go. Are you having issues with some Steam VR games, whereby some don't appear to work correctly with the HP motion controllers? Here's a snippet from HP's knowledge base and how to correct it. Let me show you a quick example. Although I'm not performing this whilst in VR, nevertheless, the principle is still the same. A link to this knowledge article, other articles and links to some interesting forum discussions can be found in the description below. Is your headset resolution set up correctly? For those of you fortunate enough to own a powerful gaming PC and a powerful graphics card, such as Nvidia's RTX 3000 series or AMD's RX 6000 series GPUs, you shouldn't have any issues regarding the in-game resolution. The overall clarity and sharpness should be pretty much spot on. Within the Steam VR settings, ensure you leave the resolution per eye setting set to auto, or within the custom setting, leave it set at 100%. Without getting too technical and going into how VR lenses work, there's nothing wrong with these settings. Steam VR automatically detects the correct resolution for your headset and the performance of your GPU, and will set this according to your headset, so leaving it at 100% or leaving it set to auto should provide the best results. Having said that, if you do experience issues, the resolution can be lowered, but this will set every app to run at the same resolution globally. However, you can change the resolution for a particular app. Select Video, per application video settings, then it's just a case of selecting the app you want to modify and lower or increase the resolution. If you're having an issue whereby your controller sticks to one side, you can easily correct this by fully depressing the joystick until it clicks and it will move freely. If you happen to be gaming with friends and your voice is coming across very loud and you're experiencing audio clipping in some applications and games, you'll need to address the microphone level. This is due to the default volume level being set at 100%, which is too high. To change this value, make sure the Mixed Reality portal is active. Then go to the bottom right corner of your desktop and right click on the speaker icon and select Open Sound Settings. Click on the Sound Control panel, click the tab Recording and select this microphone shown here. Now select the Properties, click on the Levels tab and move the volume slider anywhere between 40 and 45. Personally, I think 45 is the perfect balance in my opinion. Click OK and OK again to finish. There's some handy information on Microsoft's website specific to both the headset and the mixed reality software, so be sure to check that out. There appears to be a common issue with the NVIDIA drivers at present, whereby the driver 460.89 can cause flickering and screen stutter whilst in Steam VR, including some games. NVIDIA then launched a new driver, 461.09, and although the new driver fixed several issues, the underlying problem with stuttering still exists. From the information we've sourced, mainly from Reddit and a forum on NVIDIA's website, the issue appears to be prevalent with NVIDIA's RTX cards, including the RTX 3000 series. Well, not the cards themselves, well at least I hope not. Nope, it's the drivers that appear to be the root of the issue, primarily affecting the visuals in Steam VR, as well as some applications and games. So for now, we're pretty much stuck with it until NVIDIA has a new updated driver, which I guess won't be for another month or so. Then again, the most probable cause could be down to poor optimization by the game developers, as they do play an important role in regards to how games perform. Having said that, not everyone's stuck in a rut. Some gamers who use the RTX 2000 series cards appear to have fixed the problem, or certainly lessened the stutter, by rolling back their drivers to version 452.06 or 451.48, even as far back as 446.14. Then again, the driver version will also depend on the graphics card you're using. To be perfectly honest, I shouldn't really comment on issues regarding the 2000 series, as all our gaming machines now run on 3080s. Please do let us know which driver worked best for you in the description below. Speaking for the RTX 3080, we've experimented with version 451.48, 451.77 and 456.38, and we still experience stuttering. Even after uninstalling the driver using DDU and trying various other drivers, the issue still persists. We've somewhat given up on the driver 460.89 and now running version 457.51 using the RTX 3080, and with most apps and games everything appears to be working fine. Then again, the issue could reoccur when we try other games, as we obviously haven't tested them all. Having said that, we couldn't get Medal of Honor Above and Beyond to work. Then again, from what I did manage to play with version 460.89, worked fine, although I wasn't overly impressed with the game anyway, so it doesn't really bother me too much that it doesn't work now, as most of the other games actually worth playing do. It's frustrating, I know, but what can you do? The stutter you see here is the after result of playing Robo Recall. As far as playing Robo Recall went, the game ran perfectly well. If you only have the latest driver installed, you won't be able to do a rollback, so you'll need to uninstall it using DDU, link below, and find a lower version driver on NVIDIA's download page. For those of you with RTX 2000 series cards and are having issues with screen stutter or frame drops, you could try this version. The link to the driver version 446.14 and all the other drivers can be found in the description below. You can see everyone's rants regarding this issue on NVIDIA's game driver forum. There's also some rant here regarding drop frames. Should you want to find out what others are posting and the progress being made, not by Nvidia, I may add. I've provided the links to these two articles in the description below. Well, it's not all doom and gloom. You can improve the image quality in specific games by changing the VRSS option within your Nvidia control panel. Here's the current list of supported games. To improve the image quality for any of these games and apps, you'll need to enable Virtual Reality Variable Rate Supersampling. Bit of a mouthful, I know, aka VRSS. Open the Nvidia control panel and select Manage 3D Settings. Click on the Program Settings tab, select the app or game to customize, providing it's one of the games that's supported. Scroll down to Virtual Reality Variable Rate Supersampling and change the VRSS setting to Adaptive. Just to point out, VRSS is supported by the driver, so there's no in-game integration required and can be applied to DX11 VR games or applications that have forward renderers and support MSAA and have been tested by Nvidia. VRSS is supported with Turing and higher GPUs only and requires the Nvidia Game Ready driver 441.87 or higher. Again, more information on this can be found in the description below. For those of you who previously owned an Oculus Rift or Rift S, you're probably a little baffled as to why the G2 automatically opens the mixed reality portal on its own accord, usually after a restart and when the PC wakes up from sleep. Although this may feel strange to some, it's simply the way in which it works. It's up to the user to simply close the app if it's not required. In fact, HP recommend disconnecting the power adapter if you're not going to use it. Admittedly, it's a little frustrating having to get down on your hands and knees every time to do this. Having said that, by simply sacrificing a small amount of cable, you could attach the splitter block to the side of your case using some sticky Velcro tape and a couple of cable clips to keep things neat and tidy. It's a great idea. Well, that's it for the G2 troubleshooting. We really hope you found this video helpful. If you have any tips of your own and you'd like to share them with others, please add your comments or suggestions in the description below. Links to all our other videos related to the Reverb G2 can also be found in the description below. Again, please do leave a like if you like this video and be sure to subscribe and click the bell icon to get notified should you want to receive future content. Alternatively, why not join VROne and interact with other VR gaming enthusiasts at vrone.co.uk/join. Please do feel free to leave a comment, as we'd love to see what you have to say, and thanks for watching.